Later that night, Midnight was relaxing in her bed. Suddenly, the darkness was pierced by a bright light and the low hum as her mobile phone began to vibrate. After looking at the screen and realizing it was Terry, Midnight answered her phone. "Midnight, there's a monster here. It's trying to kill me. Midnight, please, hurry!" And with that, the mobile phone was cut. Midnight jumped out of her bed, still staring at her phone, and ran for the door. She then pulled on her shoes and continued to run from her house, running just in the direction of her friends. By the time she arrived, she could see the door was shattered and pieces were strewn all over the entrance hall inside. The house was covered with blood, flesh, bone, and organs. Midnight held back a wave of vomit, and after collecting herself, managed to stumble further inside the house. What she saw really disturbed her. The entire house, from roof to carpet, was destroyed and bloodied. Midnight turned around and pulled her phone out, ready to call the police, when a shrill scream from upstairs cut the air. Midnight ran up the stairs towards the noise, thanking that the stairs had held her weight. She looked ahead, and what she saw would never be forgotten. The room in front of her contained no door, and she could easily see that standing amongst the destruction, with a smile, was her friend Terry, and at her feet was the bloodied, shaking form of Terry's mother. Terry held a bloodied knife, and slowly turning to Midnight, she bent down and dragged her mother up by the hair. Her mother's shaking form was begging, pleading, almost trying to convince her daughter not to do something to her. Terry smiled and brought the knife across her mother's throat. Her mother's form thrashed while the blood spilled out over her clothes and the floor. It was only after she stopped that Terry let her go, allowing her body to fall with a thunk to the floor. Terry grinned at Midnight. "So, you finally made it. You were fooled by my call, I can see. And what you see around you is all that is left of my pathetic excuse for mother and father. You know they had it coming, Midnight. They're never good enough. Only thing I have is this. Are you really so naive as to come here and to have trusted me for this long? I would have thought that you, of all people, Midnight, had more intelligence than this." Before anything else could be said or anything else could happen, a voice echoed from the darkness. The voice came from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. "Terry, it's not time for talk. Leave Midnight be. The time is not right. You are to come with me. Now."